now that we remove the EC channel, now we are moving on to the Chief Justice. A time may come that we may even go to Parliament and remove the Speaker of Parliament. Because you may have the right, you may have the people, and the condition will be conducive for you to do so. So I say, no, whatever we are doing, it will serve as a precedent. So I say, send the Yaka say, Shanata say, me kata wa yeno. The same thing also be Baba. Who remove no? I also can say, oh, the time you are removing the Chief Justice to 2025, how do you go about it? So I say, no, your president. But me, I think that it's good for our constitution. Let's try everything and see what works, and then we move forward.
Okay. Well, I know it's dangerous because already people have also suggested CNG Xp0sed and if yes. I should show more. I start you. And you do Xp0sed. Now, the Xp0sed no one about to know. Your Chief Justice, yes. And as I'm going no establishing prima facie case against her. But as now, if the person is not on your side, how can you remove the EC? So if this person is gone, you bring your own person. Then you can also go and say, remove this person. Another person will go. You cannot go. I get it.
Remove the
area grand scheme, it must start from one and some other two. Not trickle down.
Imagine a minute. Imagine a me.
No, that's what I didn't say based on experience. Jude, also your views on this. Said your brass who cannot see at the end of but no agenda. But he's saying, say at the core of what he's saying, say a politics there, but a young summa democracy because it is testing us. It is your game, Papa. I will never want me to change your constitution to improve it. But I had been born into a deadly.
That make me feel it's politics. No, I mean there are so many things that aside from legal, because we are also in the political arena, I don't want to go down there, but Kaya, even your president, His Excellency, before elections, made a comment to the effect said to clean the judicial system, you need a new Chief Justice to be able to do that. At the time, no, Council said no. Not Chief Justice, we're not on the Chief Justice. It was just an interview, normal conversation. But that's beside the point. No, but me no mean per se measure only too much because me I'm just hoping say and I am assuming say will be a petition and Kasaba. We are following the processes. But the main can say even the processes as it is now is very shallow. Because so kind crowd that we drew, your friend is saying 14610 and the crowd might be dangerous.
Okay, but
extremely dangerous. It's the same.
14610. I say where a petition has been referred to a committee under this article, the president may in the case of the Chief Justice acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State by warrant signed by him, suspend the Chief Justice. In the suspending Chief Justice. In the case of any other justice of the Supreme Court or of a chairman of a regional tribunal acting in accordance with the advice of the Judicial Council, suspend that justice or that chairman of the
because look at it. Yeah, unlike America for Supreme Court justices, Supreme Court justices, they have an age limit. And it's the president crying and not gonna say, justice took no free war. Your procedures here, your constitution, and man, the client so wait a minute not to suspension be, and I said, I said 2 years, 3 years near the you're suspended. In your suspended the senior most person after activity.
They say who is the senior most after Justice Toko? Who is the senior most?
I think it's
because Justice don't change you. And Kawana na senior most.
If I'm not mistaken. But in that case, but look at how dangerous it is. It's meaning my submission is said this whole article from even 144 to you was said as a constitutional review and also during the election period, no, Oral and Shamatin made serious points in regards to because we're a prophet. Because we're a prophet, Kufuor can the same thing. See, yes, sign your constitution. Ne Andrew Mrebia, you be 2 chambers. And as suggested, say, in case of Supreme Court Justice in Crown, say as the president and appointed Supreme Court Justice, my president appointed, but subject to the approval of the established second chamber of parliament. Among the best approval. And the president who the only papa, not the second chamber na approval. The person will not be
doesn't get the job.
And only my checks and balances now anymore because as it stands now, Mr. said, yeah, father said the media penny came. Let's say a grand agenda. I said the petition is the crown my banner. Your friend is saying, home call for because this is not the first time a petition has been brought for the removal of the Chief Justice. Say, in this Fourth Republic, from Rawlings' time to date, every time the Supreme Court Chief Justice, there has been a petition for the removal of a Chief Justice. George in the wood. I'm not President Mills. Several. And President Mills in Onone guys was a constitutional law person. He was not about to, get involved in these things. But I could do maybe a petition about President Nasu. This is not the first time a petition about. I mean, even under President Akufo, this same Chief Justice here, in your opinion, I respect to the professors, I had a petition for the removal of this but because the president and appointed Chief Justice, Oboku required before prima facie case. But see, consider Sunday way as on mine. What the wash a year already is here, 14610. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
But then I'm here, President. I'm not even seeking for your removal. I just want you
to be suspended. What are you
let me push it. Maybe true. If that is the case, I'm not saying that is the case that is going on. In my opinion, the way
okay, so how to compare US and US dentists? US can President Trump remove the Supreme Court?
Absolutely not. And as a matter of fact, one thing that is funny, which is also a current debate, also even the term of the Supreme Court justices in America, only term limit. The only thing stated in American Constitution, I think it's Article 3, says Section 1, 2, baby. It can be about idea here, so it's why Supreme Court justice. Our America, good behavior. It is also so 100.
They are not quite advanced. Amount age limit, you must be of sound mind, a certain behavior.
But in
America, they'll be no.
But more mind, so more bits now. For the lifetime, obedient me in this. Say, if you listen, or 10 limits, 8 years, and I said 10 years, I said 18 years, or that man or idea on Nkofubi, because after that, or retirement, so he has to exist. Oh, because most of the congressmen and senators are almost free to America. Most of them become lobbyists.
Yes.
It's the same case, and it may apply to Supreme Court justices. If you don't give them the unlimited, so when you saw a term limiter, it be a corporation be when you say be a Dutch be no free, so person on he might be favorable to the person. And I said the corporation. In the America, the process is
America, the Supreme Court judges, some is so too for who are so who are
person or retire. Oh, and that so. It's political because said president is now appointed Supreme Court justice subject to the approval of Senate and but when you said for several years Supreme Court justice need be 80 a time or say be a 83 84 now say be a Trump this week may you sure says a liberal Supreme Court justice be also what did 90 crowd on retired or pen said another democratic government.
Okay.
Then a more president appointed replacement. It just happened. The first black female Supreme Court justice, America, you don't notice no on your Ibia or hey, by the time no eba besona yen say no nim so wanyini wan hwe no akwu akonya so and or retire say they
by the bet na for bia shemo no ye libra
also been there 40 years.
Jude, I didn't see na America ho de mo judges omu ye libra wonim say we ye libra we or ye conservative any problem I dey na Ghana kwa de ye lebu ye judges say o we mu de ka o ye MPP kakra where do I end this kakra na ye problem aye ba mo ho no yes so be a conservative judge be a liberal you okay with it I didn't see
even the competence assembly can fact Ghana the example before so people rise the about the true Supreme Court justice it is assumed and I say it is implied that or you're competent in the judicial aspect
yes
as in chief justice as in competence in administrative lady and not there you bet me a question the tenant said yes will be with my conservative will be a liberal but at the end it is assumed that before said you be more will be a true level now what establish a track record be said no it's not about inducement will be inducement and but it's the letter of the law or the edge the spirit back in the ideology of conservatism and no there is nothing wrong with it we can be a conservative but still exactly there are several times that your friend is saying president near liberal no appointed liberal judge and as a justice they've ruled against them Trump it be actually several times on one Justice Kavanaugh and a lady or they've ruled against him in several instances. But also I said, they are not Ghana and I say executive authority, no, very stronger.
Yeah, but still executive near strong crap. Obia nominating the will be Onimumrano. Now is there a case I had to be nominating for Ghana Mudimunimrana?
That's my real
because so far I'm at Justice Tanko, Justice Apo, Justice that about for years was one of the authorities who was money. There are people who have worked on the soils of Ghana. Who would they shake tables?
But also Ghana, I think
and because you to me from the bar onto the bench in India. You asked me to me appointing from the bar onto the bench.
Supreme Court justice, you don't even have to be a lawyer.
In the US?
Yes. Technically, because the Constitution does not say anything about it. But the convention is apart from in the 1800s now, and I said, only a couple of people have not been lawyers. The convention is people have gone through the mill. Amongst lower courts, the Drew appeals courts. That is the convention. But it's not a requirement in the Constitution.
Okay.
Send me to where you don't even have to be born in the US. Send me to what's to say. Then me boy Trump money campaign we need. Maybe appoint me as a Supreme Court. I don't have to have any experience. I don't have to have been a judge and that's it. Yes, sir. But checks and balances. I want to make checks and balances in the edge. Said before, so with me a Supreme Court justice be Edino. It is not an easy process to say Article 146 very, very short. First of all, before say with me Supreme Court justice be everyone is to say they have to open so we president. Everyone. Someone has to bring articles of impeachment. So a private citizen, crown of war accusation be an a member of the House of Representatives has to sponsor it. Okay.
So what they are straight. And also they not say the 2 minutes will be
because I have say Levia na nipa kwa and panel almost determines a bit may Supreme Court justice. In this case, everyone nipa 5. Are we serious as a country? Nipa 5. And they be a whole head of a branch of government, everyone. And my president, no quite so say, say enya primary facial case ne establish committee ni say king or power to suspend them. Say case in maybe 2 years I suspend them. It is very wrong. In the US, I was said House of Representatives. House of Representatives, depending on demarcations near at this time, I'm over 435 votes. Even before I said the House of Representatives, I have to go to the Judicial Committee of the House. Hearings. And Sana said, vote also. Said this is to the level said I was say court house now. No, must submit it to house. A court house this one, it can take several months. They will debate it. But at the house, you just need a simple majority. Say you are 50% plus one. And so we to swab. Say if it passes by 50% plus one, then you are impeached. Then no just here you will. Then it has to go to the Senate for a trial.
Impeachment trial, proper trial, so that makes maybe you are not.
And at that place, you need to test. It's the Senate, 100 senators. I was saying 67. And the top about in the case of American history, no Supreme Court justice has ever been removed. They have tried.
But your constitution is faulty.
They're very,
Chief Justice.
Because at this point, to say Chief Justice and yet relief be because of a Gertrude case. They say that they have to establish prima facie case. And they say Council of State for now. If I'm not scared to say they say I don't think it's a framework of your constitution. Council of State, they're very political. You have the Council of State, president not appointed almost 45% of it. 55% is not kind of so.
Political battle. Very political.
Exactly. So in this situation, according to said, young fan say India president notice any other party said the Penika. So or you're not going to say obey you if you want. The path has been cleared. And no one said to say yes, no prima facie case. On the crowd go fed across say open say the more petition the crowd before the actual committee now. Yes, I
said to trap not to have
constitutional review committees, we really need to pay attention to this because following this issue, to be honest, so me na me president, me Kwame Judah Metihui. Kwame Judah, na my just me you free one. Constitution a simple way of doing it because at the end of the day, you said that all proceedings has to be in camera, and it's all the response in the back. Maybe Council of State, and still if they determine say there is a case and I said there is no case. It is a million determines that there is a case. 5 now and pardon what would you mention? And the thing said it was said. You review. Let's say even say the court Judicial Committee of Parliament. Not Parliament, eto swaba, and I said because it shouldn't be this easy to remove the head of a branch of government. It is scary. It is a very, very scary thing. Don't say Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah Yibi. I think it's 77, so Justice Crab, Sammy Crab, okay. SMC4 uniform. But apart from that, we haven't really had the removal of a Supreme Court, but this is the situation. I said, and never be a pursuit within the past 4 years. This current government, if he said unanimous Xp0sed. So it's the president said, and I mean, you is he so Ophelia said, our agenda be that's all so clear or follow procedure again, or get the right thing, but the right thing is very shallow. The Constitution is very, 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 very shallow. It shouldn't be this easy to remove a Supreme Court justice. I don't know how this is going to turn out. But Afia said, said, Justice talking about that is the end. I mean, that basically from Nehemiah Kano, that is pretty much what it is.
Wow.
That's the USA. Nipa 435. American. Atoswaba. If we are Lipa 67 now, there is a whole trial And just say there's a trial. A bit man to keep months and some of about 1804. And then the last time Justice Chase in America they impeaching at the House level. But the court said it won the trial.
The only Kumake my was a dangerous, but the Wakadi and I say, Samahama possesses your copy of the because constitution easy.
I feel Ocean Constitution now. Constitution only a major. That 1992 Constitution only a major. Just as the people wanted whatever you wanted and wanted it to be done. Because on person, Obama Chief Justice, no better. No, Odobiaba, no, Accra was on the revolution case in I don't know. And you know, most of our problem is that the Constitution was established to ensure stability. So that one president will ensure that whatever he wants, he gets it. No pebia unya. No pebia unya. So I say, and for this long, we have gotten that stability. It's about time that we start amending and reviewing some of this so that we can have the institution to have teeth to bite. So because I mean, if the Council of State, President will appoint 45%. Almost somebody tell me
exactly. Judy quoted Article 14610. I don't know how do I get across one. Said the president can even suspend the CJ. So near Prama Fasi case no cry. No 14610A. No say in the case of the Chief Justice acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State by a warrant signed by the president, he can suspend the Chief Justice.
Yes, but if you are suspending, I also suspending. If you are suspending,
I'm suspending, but obey
and you know, the process no procedure no.
Because you are cut say I'm say you pass here and
Constitution we have to look at the Constitution in a context. We were coming from a military regime. And before then, you have had already 3 constitutions and tranche. So, and the time that people wanted JJ out for us to have our democracy, whatever he wants, they wanted it to be done. Such as I say, your democracy, and he is military have had a better hands in it.
Yeah.
And that time, that's at 1992 now, we were ushered into this 4th Republican Constitution, in Assembly BSC. So we took a lot of history into building this Constitution.
Yeah.
When you have to look at the Constitution in a context. And remember, the Constitution, but as we move forward, gradually, we will get there. Time. By a man, in the US, it's a 4 trial. Nagana 4 trial. That's a MPP 4 war. 189 war parliament war. Now NDC war 83. Try go to say. MPP go to MPP.
Yeah.
But I know there are at least numbers no increase.
Not too much. Not Mama Cocoa, wouldn't Madame Pombo, it's true. Of parliament voting now. One time, Mama Cocoa, no, behind me said, hey, dear, and I also tell people opposition.
Exactly.
Yes, I come now, we go to a Jawaka say, Omu impeach Chief Justice. Now we say, oh, chairman, or party chairman, catch yourself. Mamu go to a Gazino, or go to a Gazino. I know we are growing. So we have to give ourselves some time. Because all these things are good. Let's experiment it. Let's proceed with it. As time goes on, we will strengthen our democracy.
But I wouldn't to say they are now near Kuma Jude, they can say they are not present too much power, especially Article 14610. No, say, you know, because Council of State, you said they do guy. Council of State, I buy on to Council of State, because Council of State are battle, is partisan. You're more like they do Kumasi.
Council of State, now, I'm my president. Say, no, people, only now some gay, now often woman for 4 years. So I say, the Council of State in Nano, almost to the four, a from to Manocano, and you're binded. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and you're binded.
Council of State, you know, the advice of the Council of State, you know, is not binding on the president. The president can decide, I mean, say what foot to. No, should be a bomb, but the president can say, I'm a two fisherman. Now I say, and to say, Obiba can say, yes, the president, you're too full, you're too full. Exactly. One another was there. They had the Council of State. The Council of State was, how powered men of God, chief justices, all manner of people, chiefs and all that, they were there. They were advising him, but no open over here. So I said, and so they were there in name, said they were there. But I said, we are court. In the court, I can say, the advice of the Council of State, you know, is not binding on the president. It's not binding.
Yeah.
What to do? I say, my testimony, minimum to about mammy. Say, move a man into what to me for some for wedding. Yes, of course. And this, I don't know, send them a panel. So I see, meant to be in your juma, set in a motion, processes are made if you are. No, me do for Fraba, no, my for 4 years. Get the pan office of my who that know what my until the time, you give back your house say 4 years, you know, the government has the 4 years to do whatever he wants within the 4 years, you know. That to be the
thing. And no, you're dangerous. Say, Obiaba, obeying be, and I'm wrong, in the to say. Wait, because I can say, you're the free CJ, so electoral commission so but into a baby no so at the family that hontino my
I'm to be said the judges at the Supreme Court no so we chief justice in the perfume one said then you be how because all of them know they were promoted within certain period of time so I said and we chief justice in the perfume why you be but when you nine. Tell me what I said. And that is what we should have at the back of our NPP.
Hello, Council. Mukomatu Ahumano. Over fire, bra. Yes. Over fire, bra. Over to Ahumano said they were on to baby. And see where we are getting to. You could not upon say. The message of the about if you at the end of a grand agenda, said the lawyer Bankai. This Chief Justice issue is a grandstand. It's just a ploy to remove the EC boss. You know, target Naka say EC boss no. Because in the case of EC Electoral Commission boss no. So when you Chief Justice now. Because the Chief Justice is the one to establish a prima facie case against the Electoral Commission boss. Right. Into most active EC boss, no, so say the Jude can man suspension cry no then you can get somebody else to establish a prima facie case against the Electoral Commissioner and remove the Electoral Commissioner so that you can get the you see, in the case of the EC, it is the CJ who will decide a prima facie case against it. So they want the CJ to be certainly out so that a petition on J-Mensa can be sent. So that the new CJ can establish a prima facie case and then they can remove the Electoral Commissioner. Because who is to establish the prima facie case against the CJ? A president, no, with help from the Council of State, they should claim. It's agenda. I see the road is clear. NDC agenda. Elder say, I say, trust me, the President Mahama has also share at the end. I say there's an agenda to say. Trump, you know, only also who say the Trump be and President Mahama so you know that's it's just to pave the way to serve another term, bitter and society because we are heading towards a constitutional amendment. And when possible there.
Not there. It doesn't have anything to do with the CJ.
Okay.
It's a known President Mahama person yeah. the current MP numbers no bit me are very, very easy.
Okay.
It doesn't have anything to do with the Chief Justice. It's more sensible, say, there's a grand agenda, say, push your cases be through, and I say, EC boards, the flow. Now, Nipa will determine prima facie case no. And yes, son. I mean, these are all things, but what I keep saying is that it is wrong. Our constitution is shallow, and we Ghanaians. Sunday Maya Yemi. Kenya, some years, Yakin, Abia, you must be gradually, Maso, or see a starting year.